Hi everyone, my job research was on silver engineering, created by me, Fatima, your fellow classmate. In this presentation, I will be going over the frequently asked questions. What's a silver engineer? The education, skills, and strengths you will have to acquire, and the salary and projects that you'll be doing. Well, what's a silver engineer? The role of a silver engineer is that they design, build, do public and private infrastructures, operate and maintain, that will be further discussed down in the presentation. Are you interested or still not yet? Well, if you are, you have to go to school and have at least a bachelor's degree in science. Then an ABET certification to ensure you meet the standards of civil engineer, passing the fundamentals of engineering exam to gain experience, and finally passing the principles and practice of engineer to be licensed professional engineer. I have listed 3 universities where you can potentially go to. 2 Illinois, not too far from Joliet, which are the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign and the University of Chicago. And one across the country, if you don't want to study here in Illinois, which is also a really good one, is the University of California, Berkeley. Well, what skills and strengths do I need to be a good coworker? These are the most important skills you will have to acquire since you will be implementing them in your everyday work. Good math skills, good physics skills, good technology, reading comprehension, and problem solving. As in with the strengths, you don't necessarily have to have the ones listed in the screen, but it does make you a good teammate if you at least have one of them, because they don't hurt to have them. Okay, I know what's a civil engineer, the education and skills, but what type of projects do they do? Well, I did mention that civil engineers, they do design, build, and maintain. The ones we see most frequently here in Joliet are the ones that they operate in bridges and roads. You know, whole Joliet is under construction, from bridges being down to roads being blocked by construction. And take a big guess, who are the ones with the yellow bright vests and the safety helmets? They are civil engineers. But besides just bridges and roads, they also do steams, buildings, and water supply systems. Great. Well, how much am I getting paid to be doing all this hard work? Well, you're be clocking in about 40 hours or more, depending on if you're a part-time or a full-time. A full-time, that's 40 or more hours a week, depending on how busy you are. And a part-time, they clock a little less just because they have less time, but also because they have a flexible schedule, where a full-time does not. You do have a chance to travel abroad to work on projects across the world. In the bottom right, in the bottom right of the screen, I do have a little prompt where it shows and shares the Chicagoland area and Illinois hour pay rate. Workers on average earn $48 an hour, and they can earn up to $77 or even more per hour, and Illinois is just a little less than that. The workers on average earn around $46 an hour, and they can earn less than $31 an hour, which is super crazy on how much they do and how many hours they do. But don't you worry, you're not always working in the field and being hands-on. You also have the chance of working in the office, doing blueprints and going over projects. Well, now you know what a civil engineer do. But you're probably asking, what benefits do I have as a civil engineer? Well, you do get health coverage that covers dental and vision. You get holidays and sick days off as a worker, and you have 10 or 20 days off a year that can include personal or vacation days. But I think what the most interesting and most fun part of this all is that you get paid when you're off. And who doesn't love getting paid when you're not doing anything? Which comes to my next point, that you as a civil engineer can earn up $99,000 a year. That's your salary a year. And in the next slides, I do have the Illinois salary rate, where in the top one, the cyan color, is the Chicagoland area, where it shows the average workers have a $100,000 salary a year, and you can earn up to $160 a year, which is crazy. And the Illinois is just a little less than that. It's $97,000 a year, and the United States is $99,000 a year. In the next slide, it shows the civil engineer salary in the United States as a whole nation. The darker colors of blue are the ones that get the highest pay, and the lowest, and not the lowest, but the least paymented, lightest colors are the ones that get the lowest, which is crazy. And how mostly all the map is like all light colors. And that just comes to my conclusion of my presentation. I have all my works cited here, where I got all this information. And if you want to learn more, you can always visit these sites. And thank you for your attention. Have a great day.